Welcome to Laying the Points, where we cover the spread for you. I'm Shane Cohen here with Steve Foltz, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about the World Series between the Giants and the Tigers. How do these teams get there? The Giants, two miraculous comebacks against the Reds and the Cardinals, both down from 3-1. The Tigers, with dominant performance against the Yankees. Foltz, what are you looking forward to most in this series?
Well, I got to say, after a long layoff for the Tigers, it's been 6 days since they've played. Got to say, I'm looking forward to how they respond. 2006, they had the same layoff and faced a hot Cardinals team, so now they're facing the hot Giants team. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Tigers respond to that.
Now, we know the big players in this series. You got Miguel Cabrera, you got Prince Fielder, Justin Verlander for the Tigers. For the Giants, you got a nice rotation with Matt Cain. Vogelsong's been great. You know, Sandoval, Scudero just had a historic LCS. But who's your most important player?
Well, I think you got to look at the Giants and you got to look at Buster Posey. Comeback player of the year, possibly an MVP candidate as well. He's been huge for them. He was probably, aside from Scudero, perhaps their best hitter so far in the playoffs. So you got to take it to Posey. What would you say about the Tigers?
Now, everyone knows Verlander. You know, last year's Cy Young and MVP. He's been lights out, dominant. But Miguel Cabrera, I think, is the most important because Verlander, he's going to get his. He's going to do well. But Cabrera is the big hitter in that lineup, and they go as he goes. I think if he, has that triple crown-like kind of series, and he's hitting, the Tigers are going to do well. The Giants were in the World Series in 2010. They were a bunch of, scrappy guys. Edgar Renteria was your World Series MVP. Cody Ross. Those are your best players. Not even on the team anymore. I think the Tigers pitching has been dominant, and the Giants pitching also dominant. Both very good, but Miguel Cabrera is the X factor for me.
Speaking of that dominant Giants pitching staff, let me throw some numbers at you. 11-2-5, 3.52, 1.74, and 1.42 ERAs of the Giants starters in the postseason so far. How do you feel about that?
Who's that 11-2-5?
Bumgarner.
All right, Mr. I'm a Bumgarner hasn't been very good, but Cain got highest paid pitcher in the NL for a reason. He was pretty decent in the last series and the series against the Reds. He can still be dominant. Vogelsong been dominant. Zito had a lights out performance in the LCS to save them in Game 5 when they were down 3-1. I mean, Zito, he's not 2003 Barry Zito, Cy Young Barry Zito. He still, he's got the capability to be very good. I like the Giants and their rotation, but I love their bullpen even more.
Lincecum's not on that list. What's he doing?
Lincecum's coming out of the bullpen. He's been dominant. He pitched 4 innings of relief and gave up maybe 1 run. Casilla, he's given up 1 run. Romo giving up 1 run. FL giving up no runs. That bullpen is dominant. Their back of their bullpen secure. They know what they're doing. They don't even have Brian Wilson. The bearded man, he's gone. And they're still dominant. Now Valverde, he has not been so good in the back of the bullpen for the Tigers, and that's what concerns me about them.
Here we go. Fister, Scherzer, 1.35 both. Sanchez, 0.82. Verlander, 0.74. That combines for a team ERA of 1.74 for that Tigers pitching staff. Tigers pitching staff is what got them. Yes, the Yankees were cold, but Tigers pitching was able to shut them down. Let me give you this one. 2.84, 2.57, 0.56, that's Verlander, by the way, and 0.00. That was the Tigers' ERA against the A's. A's came in hot, came back, got a little wild card victory.
They were hot. My theory again.
And they shut them down.
I know what you're saying because I said the Giants are coming in hot. I bet the Athletics against the Tigers because I said they're coming in hot. You can't mess with Magic, whatever, thought that would do it for him. Obviously, it doesn't work against Verlander. But the Giants, they're hot. And the past few seasons, last year, Cardinals, The team that was hot won. That's how the Giants beat the Phillies 2 years ago. It breaks my heart, but that's how they won. They were hot. They came in hot. Guys just like Marco Scutaro. Marco Scutaro had 14 hits in the LCS. Marco Scutaro, who is that? You know, he's been on more teams than my dad, for God's sake. But he's been, you know, he gets hits out of nowhere. And that's what the Giants do. They got a good manager with Bruce Bochy. I do love Jim Leyland. I think they're both great managers. They know what they're doing. But I got, you know, that Tigers bullpen, it concerns me.
Tigers, hitting-wise, hitting 270 in the postseason so far. The bats are going to be there. I love that lineup. And again, team average, like I said, 271, only 30 strikeouts from that. And the Giants are only hitting 234, and they've struck out 51 times. Those Tigers pitchers are going to be dominant. Now you talk about Game 5, Tigers A's. Who pitches Verlander? My money is always on Verlander because he's the best pitcher.
He's the
best pitcher in baseball.
Okay.
Shows up when they need him.
So the MVP.
Who's
the
pitching
MVP.
Game 1? Justin Verlander. Verlander starts him off, gets that Game 1 win on the road.
You're guaranteeing that?
Guarantee that? You heard it here, folks.
You guarantee that? Verlander
Justin
Game 1 win.
Verlander. Game 1 win. Dominant performance like he's done. 3-0 in the postseason so far. ERA around 1 in this postseason. Verlander gets it done in San Fran.
Now you're telling me the Tigers are going to win the World Series because of Justin Verlander. You're guaranteeing that Justin Verlander doesn't lose. Am I right?
Justin Verlander doesn't lose. Pitching on normal rest. Zito is pitching on 4 days rest, so he's a little tired.
Now,
Verlander, if they need him, pitches Game 4, pitches Game 7, if they need it. Guaranteed to win 2 of those games.
now what happens if he has a bad game? What happens if he has a bad game? Do the Tigers still win? You still like the Tigers? How worried are you? How worried are you? What if Verlander comes out Game 1 in San Francisco, where San Francisco just won twice, coming off 3 wins in a row, very hot, and they just come out and they crush Verlander in the first inning?
How about that lineup again? They have the bets. They got Fielder, they got Cabrera, they got Austin, Jackson, they got Ayala behind the plate who can hit the ball. Coming in nice right here. Give me the Tigers offense. This is the Tigers' year. Special things happen to a team that has a player who hits for the Triple Crown.
Now,
Give me the Tigers.
Now, we haven't talked about, coming into the season, everyone talked about the Tigers because they had Cabrera, who was obviously one of the best players, and Verlander, the MVP. And they got a big acquisition in Prince Fielder. He hasn't done anything extraordinary, but how do you think he factors into this?
Well, you haven't heard anything great, but you haven't heard anything bad, so it means that he's not hurting them. I think Fielder can supply a big hit if they need him, big home run or something, but again, Cabrera is what is going to make that offense go. He hits a ball, scores, he is what makes that team go. He is the heart and soul of that offense.
So you're picking the Tigers?
Picking the Tigers to win it, I'm going to say win it in 5.
5! You
5
think in
games.
5?
I got 5 games. I'm going to throw a line at you. We're going to go a little plus 350. Plus 350 on Tigers to win it in 5. Here's how I see it.
Those
Game
are the
1.
odds. Those are bad odds, my friend.
Here we go. If they win in 6, if they win in 7, same price. Put $10, you come out even either way. But here's why I'm saying 5. Game 1, you got Verlander, Zito. Verlander takes care of business. Give the Giants 1. I think Bumgarner outpitches Fister, although Bumgarner hasn't been good. I think they both have. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Give me Bumgarner. Let's bring it back to Comerica. We got Sanchez and Vogelsong. Give me Sanchez.
Give you Sanchez. Vogelsong has been hot. I think this series is as close as it gets, and I think there's no doubt it's going to go 7 games. It could go 6. It's going to go 7 games. Back to San Francisco, where San Francisco likes to do these little comeback things in San Francisco. I like San Francisco in 7. I don't know why, but it's something about that little magic I told you about. I don't really buy that the Tigers are gonna dominate them like you think. I think the Giants bullpen is sturdy, and when it gets down, late in the game, this series is gonna be very close. But I'm going with the Giants in 7.
Game 3, Sanchez Vogelsong. Like I said, Sanchez. Game 4, we got Scherzer. they're up 2-1, so they'll let him pitch. If they're down 2-1, they'll throw out Verlander. If I say they're up 2-1, give me Scherzer against Kane. Kane, yes, he had a strong outing, but he's 2-2.
You don't like
ERA
Kane. You don't
ERA
like
is
Kane.
3.52. 3.52, that scares me. You let the Tigers score 5, I'll tell you, Scherzer's not giving up 5 runs. Not at home. And then Game 5, it's Verlander, maybe Zito again, because Bumgarner's not going to pitch. If anyone, you throw Vogelsong, but he's only going to have 2 days rest, so you can't do that. Maybe you bring out Lincecum because you don't use him. In a Game 5, if they're down 3-1, no Barry Zito. Bold prediction, Tim Lincecum pitches in that game.
You think Tim Lincecum's going to come out there and save?
Tim Lincecum, if the Tigers can't do it in 5 and they have to go back to AT&T Park, I don't love the Tigers' chances anymore. I say they have the ability to do it in 5, and they will do it in 5. Giants are only hitting 234. That lineup is shaky. They scored like 5 more runs than the Tigers in 3 more games. Tigers pitching gets it done. Defense wins championships. Defense pitching. I love
you like the Tigers. You love
There's
the Tigers.
something special
You love the
happens to someone.
Tigers.
They have
I
the
like
last-
the Giants. I don't love the Giants.
They have the
but I
last
like
2
the
MVPs.
Giants. I wouldn't bet on the World Series winner. Now, what is your favorite prop bet? Give it to me.
My favorite prop bet. I gotta say, I like Cabrera more hits than Scudero.
I like
I don't-
Cabrera more hits than anyone. I don't understand why it's. They act like I understand Marco Scudero just had a great LCS, but he's not. He's Marco Scudero. He's not Mark McGwire. He's not Sammy Sosa. He's not Barry Bonds. It's Marco Scudero.
Barry Bonds with a splash
Miguel
ball,
Cabrera is the
perhaps.
best hitter in baseball, without a doubt. I would
Best-
feel so confident taking any bet in which Miguel Cabrera would have more hits than Scudero.
I
Or
got.
anyone.
I also have Posey with more RBIs than Austin Jackson. That is an even line. During the regular season, Posey had 103 RBIs compared to Austin Jackson only was 66. In the playoff, Austin Jackson's had 6. Posey's had 10. I also like the Giants plus 2.5 home runs against the Tigers for the entire series. Giants have 10 home runs so far. Tigers only have 8. Tigers don't hit the long ball. They score, but they can't hit the long ball. That's not how they get it done.
The
They
Giants
play small ball. They steal bases. Giants 2 stolen bases in this postseason. They
You
do
got
not
every
play
stat.
small
You
ball.
looked up
The
every
Tigers-
single
The
stat.
Tigers 7 stolen
I got a
bases.
table full of nothing. You got a table full of every stat that there is. The Giants were last in the regular season in home runs. They're not a home run hitting team. They're a small ball team with Angel Pagan at the top and Scudero. Then you got Buster Posey. You got Pablo Sandoval, who's been hot. Back
Pablo
there.
Sanchez.
Big Panda, Pablo Sandoval. All right, not Pablo Sanchez. Big Panda. Big Panda's been hitting. He's been on fire. And then who you got? Mr. Emotional Leader, former Philly, grew a beard, thinks he's a big boy now. Hunter Pence. He's an emotional leader. He's going to be an X factor. This Giants team, they're riding off emotion. They're hot. Based off what I saw last year with the Cardinals and, the Giants, New York Giants, Super Bowl run. The hot team wins. The Giants are hotter. They're fresh. I like them to win in the World Series.
Tigers, Monday, Tuesday, played 2 games. 2 games against someone in their organization, someone in their system. That's keeping them fresh. If you love that stat, Giants don't hit home runs, let me throw this prop at you. Tigers minus 4.5 more runs than the Giants in it. Again, like I said, Tigers pitching is what's going to win them that game. They're going to keep the Giants offense in check. They're going to keep it low. I absolutely love that line. I think Tigers split it. Like I said, I'm giving the Giants benefit of the doubt because I don't think the Tigers are going to sweep them. But what I do like is the Tigers sweep at home. Verlander's the reason that they lost Game 1 in 06 against the Cardinals. Verlander is the reason that they're starting in San Francisco this year. 1 inning
Ironically.
pitched, 5 earned runs. That's Verlander's fault. He's going to step up. Verlander's 3-0 in this postseason. 06, he's 1-2. He steps up. He's got 22 Ks. Give me Justin Verlander.
Is he your AL MVP or is he your World Series MVP?
My World Series MVP with 2 wins to start him in Game 1, to end him in Game 5. Justin Verlander, your World Series MVP.
You want to hear my World Series MVP?
What do you got?
Ryan Vogelsong. The guy's been hot. I think the pitching is the reason that either of these teams win, as pitching is the most important thing. Ryan Vogelsong, MVP. Giants win in 7. You got Tigers in 5.
Tigers in 5? What do you got?
And I got Giants in 7. You got Verlander as your MVP.
Giants in 7 with a Vogelsong MVP. I got Verlander MVP and Tigers in 5. For the betting people out there, Tigers in 5, if you trust me, plus 350. Thank you for tuning in to our first show. Tune in next week when we bring you the NFL lines from Week 8. I'm Fultz. That's Shane. Sayonara.